Hello, my Padawans. How are you guys doing tonight? I'm listening to Coast with George Snorri, and he reminded me that it's Veterans Day tomorrow, but I wanted to make this video now. I know there's some veterans that serve the military here in this community, one of them being Richard Groyper, and the other, Jason Callan. And I wanted to say to both of you, thank you for your service. That took a lot of guts. In my lifetime, in my experience, I was personally, I was going to join the Air Force, and I signed up. I went through the testing, the ASVAB, the recruitment, but there was like a year waiting list to go to the Gulf War. This was in the 90s, and I decided to walk out. But I already signed all the papers. I was ready to join the Air Force, and I spent about a week at the Miramar Air Force Base with the Navy, because I didn't know if I was going to do the Navy or the Air Force. They were trying to get me into the Navy instead of the Air Force. But in the end, I walked out. I did. And that was my story with anything having to do with the United States military. In the case of Richard Groyper, I know that I don't get along with Richard. I don't agree with his ideology on white supremacy, on racism. But I think that Richard has evolved. I think that he has matured, and I think that he's different now than from 45 years ago, 4 years ago maybe, 2019, 2020. He was really bad. And he has talked about his service, and I believe in the Marines. Correct me if I'm wrong, Richard. I believe you served in the Marines, and you went to Afghanistan. And you were actually in combat in the desert. And I got to give you props for that. And I know that you don't talk a lot about what you did, but I'm sure you had to be shooting at another human being. And I got to be honest with you, I would have left. I would have deserted the Marines. I would not do that. And I know that that's why you are disabled and incapacitated, and that's why you stay home. And I'm not coming at you, Richard. I'm just saying I think that's why you are disabled. I know it was hard. I know what you had to go through. When I first came to YouTube, for some reason, people thought that I should know everything about Richard, so they sent me all his info. I don't know why. But, Richard, whatever happened to him in this war, in the Afghanistan conflict, and that's why he's like this, okay? But Richard, I know I never said this before, and I know Pandora will probably be in shock. But I want to thank you for your service in the Marines, Richard. I mean it. If I didn't mean it, I want to say it, Richard. Jason Callan, thank you for your service. I know you served in the Army, I believe. You don't talk much about it. All I know is that you were in Germany for a couple of years. This is the stuff that you said publicly. And you do mention that you went to the base and you watched movies a lot. Hey, it sounds like fun, And you went to into the town, and you hit some bars. I'm not sure what you did in the military, Jason. I think you were like clerical, right? Clerical work. like office work, and that's still serving in the army. There's nothing wrong with that. You still deserve respect for being in the army. No, like I said, no matter your position. So, and there are some other people here in the community where I hang out that are veterans, specifically one guy, but I don't want to mention him. It doesn't mean that I don't thank him for his service, but he's just someone that I don't talk about. All right. Um, when it comes to the wars, I think that's Memorial Day. People that died in World War II, in Vietnam. Veterans Day is just to thank the people that served in any branch of the military, and you're just sort of saying thank you, right? Just like I say, hey, like a handshake, like thank you very much. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that you have to, go all crazy and like pray or anything. It's just saying, hey, thanks for thanks for doing what you did. That's it. It's pretty simple. And I believe that I think George Snorri was in the Navy, in some sort of I'm not sure where. I think he was in some craft, some ship. I can't recall right now, but I know that George Snorri served, and I want to thank you, George Snorri, for serving in the Navy. You're a wonderful guy. You really are. Art Bell served in the I think it was the Army, I believe, but hey, it could be wrong. I don't have all the I'm not taking notes on this stuff, but I'm just thinking about you guys. Just know that I respect your decision, because I walked out of that recruitment office. I walked out. I was like, I don't want to do this. And I was like, this close to finally, finally going into training. And I told my recruiter, you know what, I'm not doing it. Goodbye. And he got all mad, So, thank you, my veterans. Have a great night, and have a great day tomorrow. Whatever you're doing with your family, have a good time. I don't know, make some barbecue, have some, make dinner, watch a movie. A good movie is Battleship. That's a good movie. I actually like that movie. Battleship. Of course, Pearl Harbor. When it comes to military movies, I really like, Independence Day, stuff like that. The sci-fi. I like the sci-fi military movies. Okay. And I just like science fiction, and of course Star Wars, because Star Wars and Star Trek are sort of like military films, because there is like ranks, there's like generals, there's soldiers, troopers. So Star Wars and Star Trek are military films, but in sci-fi form. Thank you for your service. May the force be with you.